Last episode, I turned the quartz and cobble from this factory into diorite, andesite, and tuff in this factory, then built this building over here to process everything into iron, gold, copper, zinc, brass, and andesite alloy. And today we'll be finishing this complex by adding a diamond factory and another small factory on this corner we have over here. It's a very small area, but I should be able to fit in what I want to, but we'll get to that one later. First up, diamonds. Now, usually diamonds are non-farmable, even in Create, but in the Perfect World mod packs, we also have Create Additional Recipes, which means we can automate diamonds from compacting coal blocks with lava. And that means we need to automate coal, and I've got a plan on how to do just that, and that plan starts with trees. Now, last season I did make the mistake of using birch and then decorating the area around where the trees were growing with flowers, which resulted in the bee-pocalypse.
Oh my god, there's literally like 100 bees. Mr. B, no.
This time I'm going to be much more sensible and I'll be using spruce instead. Easily controlled sizes, no chance of bees. Sounds like an advert for spruce. So first up, as always, I need to gather a few things together to make a start on this, and to make the farm more efficient, the first thing I want to do is get me some of that farmer's soil or something. What's it called? This stuff, the rich soil, which means we need a bunch of time, but we also need some organic compost, which we can make from bone meal, dirt, straw, and tree bark, or in fact, this one might be a bit easier. That way we don't have to worry about stripping wood, and we can use up some of our rotten flesh. I do, however, still need to go get myself some straw. Let's go make some soil. So we need rotten flesh, we need bone meal, we need dirt, and then we need straw, which we've got some of up there. In fact, we've got loads of tree bark as well. But either way, we've got what we need to make a whole bunch of organic compost. Now we just need this to convert, and I believe if we put it next to water, we'll add in a little bit of extra water here as well, just to make sure. But that should speed up the conversion. And there we go. Now we've got a bunch of soil. Let's just get rid of all this water. And while that was doing its thing, I have got a floor in on this factory now, so we're good to start figuring out where things are actually going to go. And I think I'm going to start just by getting this rich soil in the ground. Now, we've got to think, spruce trees, they can basically have a leaf spread of up to 3 blocks, so we want to make sure we're at least 3 blocks away from this wall and this wall, but I'd also like a little bit of space to be able to walk around. So maybe if we go somewhere like here and just put in a few rows, that should do the trick. So that's where we're going to grow our trees, and then all of the processing, we can do that over here. And to be honest, that should be fairly straightforward. But we do need to build the contraption that's actually going to harvest all this stuff first. And for that contraption, we're just going to use a minecart with some saws on it. I think that tends to work quite well. But I also want this to look nice, so I think I'm just going to cover the whole tree farm area with this dark oak. There we go, and once we get a fence up around that, that should create a nice safety zone for us. I do have a habit of walking into the saws if I don't make it safe. Alright, so for this collection mechanism, what we're going to do is put a rail down here, and then a normal rail. This is a controller rail that will basically send things in that direction. Then we'll just get those in there as well, and get that powered, which we'll just stick a lever on the side, I think. Just like that. And we'll also have a lever here, which we'll use temporarily just for turning the whole thing on and off. So we need a cart assembler. The key thing to always do on these is to lock the rotation. We definitely want that locked. Otherwise, we're going to have a right mess. Now, the contraption itself is fairly straightforward. We just need some drills, or saws, I should say. We'll have a few connecting blocks, and a barrel there, and a portable storage interface on here. And we'll just put the receiving one of these over here. So that's the lower part done, but we also need to be replanting all of these trees. But we need deployers. That should do the trick. Now we just need to glue all of that together. And when I flick that, oh, nothing happens. I need to put in a minecart. Every time, I swear. And there we go. Okay, perfect. And the saws come back far enough to be able to chop these trees down, so we should be good. I just need to go get some saplings to load it up with. We'll use the saplings to set the filters on here, so that's all they ever pick up. And the reason I've used this soil here is because every now and then what it'll do is give it the bone meal effect. So it just means things are going to grow a lot quicker on this soil than it will on regular dirt or grass. And ultimately that just means we get more wood, which we can turn into charcoal, which will then turn into coal, and so on. So let's just get this loaded up, give it something to start with, and turn that on. And there we go, it's planted in all the spots. Yep, and that will start collecting wood for us. What we then need to do is actually have a little bit of a filter system, because this is also going to produce sticks, it's going to produce saplings, and a lot of the saplings are obviously going to get recycled and replanted, but any that don't will get chucked out over here. But you generally always get enough saplings back from a spruce tree anyway. Oh, look at that, look, you can see the bone meal effect working. But we want to be getting rid of the sticks and the saplings, and then only the wood. That's what we then want to cook. So disposing of the bits we don't want should be easy enough. Just do this, add a lava bucket, a couple of filters, and then we'll filter out the sticks and the saplings. And the good thing about these funnels is they will grab stuff directly from a belt like this, and that should leave just wood coming through to here. And that means by the time we get to here, we just need to stick a funnel on the end there. So this will end up just full up with wood. So the next step is to smelt that wood and turn it into charcoal. Let's get a couple of belts in down here. Want to have another belt that comes off this way, which is going to collect all the charcoal. And one belt will be enough just because of the time delay it'll have over this section while it gets all cooked up. So in order to make this work, I think I'm going to need some glass. Maybe some more glass trapdoors. In fact, do I have any in my backpack? 23. That might not be enough, but it should at least get us started. So if we put these here... Oh no, wait a minute. Let me think about this. I need the lava to go through these spots. So what I actually need is a bunch of trapdoors here. Stick some on the end. Then I just need something that's going to hold all the lava back. So the wood coming out. These funnels will hold back the first bit. And I'm wondering, maybe what we can do is add a few chains in here. That will just hold up the rest of the lava. And then once that's turned into charcoal, we need that to go into 3 basins. So these funnels here will hold up the lava on that side. But in theory, I should just be able to put some lava up here. And yep, that's covered the whole thing. And nothing's leaking through. Excellent. Now I'm going to need a whole bunch of fans, probably more than that. I think I need a couple more. And I need some mechanical presses. So these will go up here, and the fans are going to line up across the top here. And I'll get a couple more to finish that off in just a moment. In fact, thinking about it, I probably don't need it to be anywhere near this big, do I? It's not like it's going to be producing stacks of wood that quickly, is it? Yeah, let's rethink this. We could probably just do it with one row, to be honest. Yeah, that should work nicely. So if this is going to compact all the charcoal down into coal blocks, then I just need one more here. So this should work absolutely fine. What we're going to be doing is bringing the wood out of here, cooking it into charcoal, and then once it goes into here, it will turn into coal. I think it's every 4 bits of charcoal will give us 1 coal. And if we stick another press on there, what we then need to do is turn this coal into coal blocks and send it off this way. And then we need one last basin, but this one needs to get lava as well. But that should be fairly easy to hook up. The lava pipe is just down here. There's the pipe, so if we just connect that up to this bit, and there we go, lava is flowing. So we now have lava in there, ready to make the diamonds. We just need to add another press. And that should be our entire diamond factory. Nice and small. I mean, I could have made it more compact and made it even smaller, but it's fine as it is. Important thing is we're going to have diamonds coming off this belt at the end here, and we should probably pump those over to the storage bit over there, I guess. But we'll sort that out in a little while. First off, I want to get power up in here. And in the 10 minutes we've been building that, this has collected a reasonable amount of wood, so we should end up with a reasonable amount of diamonds. Just a side note, it is a shame that despite all the additional recipes we have, we still can't automate emeralds. If we want those, we're going to have to do that the old-fashioned way. But anyway, right, power. Similar to the lava, that should be just over here. Oh, in fact, look at that. Even better. Oh, yeah, destroying the road again. But at least this is going to be nice and easy. And there we go. That's power. Although it's quite slow power, so we should probably speed that up first off. And there we go, full power. Excellent. So let's just get all the belts hooked up first. Should all be fairly straightforward. In fact, I'm just going to shuffle this around a little bit so we can save on some materials. There we go, that's all those belts going. And now that one. I'm actually going to swap out this rail here just for a normal powered rail. There we go, it connects better now. And we're only getting logs in here, which is good, because that means everything else is getting destroyed in the lava. So now all I need to do is get power to all of these top bits here. That should be fairly straightforward, because I think I can just do that. Excellent. And then I guess this is also where we can put the clutch to turn off the power to all of these top bits, which will ultimately stop the factory from running. There's something I've forgotten to do is put a filter on this. So I want to make sure that only charcoal can go in there. In fact, I might quickly make a bit of charcoal just so I can actually put the filter on now. And let's put that on there. And we'll use 4 charcoal to make a bit of coal so we can put that filter on. That should be good. What is going on over there? It's doing that thing again. It doesn't like me having scaffolding under the back there. But why is this backed up? Oh, I'm not getting rid of the flint for a start. Let's quickly solve that. Put a flint filter on there. Bucket of lava in the floor. Turn my magnet off so I don't pick it all up. And then turn that round. Right, that'll help. Right, I see. When I built my walkway across the top here, it kind of blocked off the exits for these, and that's why everything's all got backed up. Which I guess means I just can't have a walkway across here. Oh well, not to worry. At least it's fixed now. Right, distractions aside, what was I doing? Oh yes, filters over here. So, I think I've got all of these filters correct. I just need to get power to these fans. And there we go. That should do the trick nicely. Then once this first batch gets cooked up, we should get coal. Yep, here we go. Then we should get coal blocks, which we are. And are they going in there? Yep. Oh, we've got wood in there. That's not good. Prior mistakes were made. And look at that. Our first diamond just came flying off. And another. Excellent. So it does all appear to be working, which is good, but we're not storing them anywhere yet, so let's just keep them on the belt and let it back up. Actually, no, I think what I'm going to do is connect up the drawers over to there, just so the diamonds get stored in the same place as everything else. Now, storage drawers, by default, you can have drawers up to 25 blocks away from the storage drawer controller, which is this block here. However, if you go into the config, you have to go to the create config and then access config of other mods, and if we go all the way down to storage drawers, go to common config and then general, and then here we can set the controller range up to 75, and that's exactly what we've done. And that just means we can transfer items a much greater distance. So if we just create a channel under this road here. Oh, in fact, we're going to have to go a little bit lower. And what we'll also need to do is put in a connection probably just under here. And that's our tunnel. Perfect. What I need to make is a whole bunch of dark oak trims. And we're going to use these to connect the system together. So we'll just bring this all the way over to our diamond spot, which is right here. And we'll put a draw controller slave there. Then I just need a chute there. Perfect, and now they should all be going into this drawer over here. Look at that, we've got 23 already. Excellent. Let's just fix the road and the factory floor. All right, excellent. So next thing, I guess, we don't actually need to put anything else in this factory, so it's quite empty. With that in mind, I think what I'm gonna do is make the factory footprint a lot smaller. We can get away with taking out all of this bit here and maybe around to here or so. And that means we've got a bit of space out the front. We can put in a car park, although we are still gonna need to put in the sort of delivery pickup areas for these items here, so maybe that's what we can use this space for. I don't know, we'll figure that out later. There we go, that's better. Loads of space out the front here. Now I need to make this building look nice. And a short while later, that's another building mostly complete over here at Murphy's Processing. Like the rest of the buildings around here though, it does still need a little bit of finer detail on the inside as well as the outside, just to set it into the landscape a little bit better out here, and also just to make sure in here makes a bit more sense and is walkable, although it's not too bad I suppose. But I do seem to be missing a block up there. So this small building at the side here is just for the bit that actually makes the diamonds, and I've had to leave this bit a lot taller because of course this is where the trees are going to grow, this is where we're going to get our wood, and so on. So with diamonds being produced, that means we are producing all of the shinies that we wanted to over here, but we still have one empty box, and we still have an empty platform over here for our final build. And I did ask last episode what you think I should put here, and we've had lots of very cool suggestions, everything from a small cafeteria, a site office, all the way to other farms that are making things like casing and redstone. And that last one, redstone, I think that's what we're going to try and do here. The process for making redstone, however, is not particularly straightforward. So I think it's time for another factory diagram. This one is done with. We've made everything we needed to from this, so let's just clear this up. Alrighty, so for this factory, we want the end result to be redstone. To get redstone, what we need to do is get some cinder flour, and we need to squirt a strength potion on top. I don't have any of those, so we'll just have to pretend that's what that is. We can get cinder flour from netherrack, and we get netherrack from mixing andesite with nether warts. In fact, let's put that like that. Okay, so that's how we're going to get our netherrack, and that's how we're going to get cinder flour. The more complicated process is making strength potions. So strength potions come from mixing an awkward potion with blaze powder. Awkward potions come from water, and once again we need some nether warts. So we're definitely going to need a nether wart farm. And blaze powder we of course get from blaze rods. So in that small building we need to get a blaze farm. We need to get a nether wart farm. We're going to need to import some andesite from over there, but that's absolutely fine. We've got loads going spare. And besides that, we're just going to need a bit of water. So this shouldn't be too bad, I guess. It's just a fact of trying to fit all these things in that small building. The main issue probably being a blaze farm. Thankfully, we do have a blaze spawner. We snatched that up right at the start of the series. So we'll use that to make the farm. And in fact, what we should probably do is actually put the farm above and then have all of the factory bits down below. I think that should work quite nicely. And in fact, this spot over here could be perfect for a nether wart farm. It's a good size. We can put a nice little contraption in. Yeah, I think we can get this to work. We can probably just about cram everything in here. And although I've got lots of stuff on me, none of it's really the stuff that I need to make this farm. So I'll be back in a minute and hopefully my backpack will have the things I do need as opposed to the things I don't. Got a bunch of stuff that should help. Let's build up a little farm. And we're going to start with the nether wart farm because it's probably the simplest thing for us to do. And I think I'm going to make this the same length as this bit here. So we need a whole bunch of soul sands. And eventually we'll get this filled up with nether wart, but that's all I had on me for now. But we're actually going to need quite a lot for this because although we don't need that much to make the awkward potions, we do need a lot to be making all of the netherrack. So with that in mind, we're going to make this farm maybe 3 or 4 blocks tall. Or layers, I should say. Let's go for 3 layers here. Hopefully that'll be enough. Yep, I reckon 3 layers should do just fine. Just need to make myself a bunch of harvesters now, because I've only got 5, and I'm definitely going to need more. Which means we need some casings. And then alongside some andesite alloy and iron sheets, that should hopefully give us what we need. Or maybe not. We're actually going to need 18 of these. What I'm going to do is just build up a small framework for these to go on, because the harvesters can't just be placed on the ground. They need to actually be attached to something. And apparently that something cannot be a girder. Fine. There's me wrench. So let's just temporarily put some oak logs in here, get the harvesters on, and then we'll just put some supports back in. Something like that. So all the harvesters are in. Now let's just attach a cart assembler. So let's make sure that's facing the right way. Then we'll stick a portable storage interface in there, and we're going to need a barrel as well. So let's just stick that on top. And then we'll get all of this glued together. Now we just need a little bit of power, so we'll stick that down here. That's those powered. And we'll control this one here with a lever. And let's actually remember to put in a minecart before we turn it on this time. Unusual, I know. Let's put that in there. We'll set this to lock rotation. Like that. There we go. That is now running. We put another storage interface there. That should also offload when it comes back. Yep. All right, so that's our nether wart done. We do, of course, need to expand it and get it planted on all 3 levels, but that's a good start. So next up, I think we'll start over here. So we need to import some andesite and make netherrack. Now, if we take a look in the next building, we can see we do already have andesite coming in, and there's absolutely loads coming through, so we can definitely take some of this. The only real question is how, because we've just put in a farm there, so we can't really take it straight across. But I've got an idea. If we do this and then bring the andesite over to pretty much the end here, I guess. So if we bring it to there and then send it out this way. Yeah, look at that. We should have space to be able to bring it across. Excellent. Just need some belts and some tunnels. Do I have any tunnels? Apparently not. Looks like I might need to make some. So we need kelp, electron tubes, and probably something else. Ah, brass, of course. That makes perfect sense. Let's just grab a couple of those, make a couple of those. And now let's hope this is going to work, because I'm not sure if you can actually put tunnels on the slopes. No, you can't. Okay. Well, in that case, we're going to have to do things slightly differently. So if we put some shafts in here like this, rotate that one round, get rid of those 2, put a belt in there, then we'll stick another belt in here, then go across. And hopefully we can just put a brass tunnel on there. And there we go. Okay, we're splitting that off. Excellent. We're going to bring that outside to here. Get some blocks in. I'm just going to put a temporary block on the end there. Once I get the building in, obviously that is going to get blocked off by the building anyway. Then what we want to do is bring this down diagonally, I think. So let me just work out where they need to be. Something like that. And then if we put these in. Wonderful. And we'll just stick another belt down here, and that is going to bring in our andesites. And it will look a bit tidier once we get the building in, because this is just going to be a pipe that's kind of attached to the side of the building. But yeah, for now, it is going to look a little bit messy. Oh, in fact, we can't really bring it down exactly here, because I do need to be grabbing the nether wart here. Although I'll tell you what, we could just bring the nether wart out the side, I guess. And to make the netherrack, we need a heated basin. In fact, let's reduce that by a bit. Stick a blaze burner in there with a basin on top. We'll bring the netherrack out this way. That will be our exit. Means I need an input there, which is going to bring in the andesites. I need an input there that's going to bring in the nether warts. Although I do also need the nether wart for awkward potions. So maybe I should make a little bit more space around here. So how about instead, if I do something like that, we'll store all the andesite in a vault here. Then I can put a brass tunnel here so we can send off some of the nether wart that way and some this way. And if I was to do something like this, we can have belt there, belt there. In fact, just to mix it up a bit, let's use some item drains there. Need a brass funnel there. And then this is where we're going to put our basin. All right, so that will make us our netherrack, although currently it won't actually. We need a mixer. So let's chuck that on there. So we need a brass funnel on there, a couple of andesite funnels so that we can actually get the andesites and the nether warts into those. Right, so I guess the next job here is probably power. Yeah, we definitely need some power up in here. How about putting a vertical gearbox in here like that, then sticking that in. Aha! Perfect. All right, so now what I need to do is get some lava over here to this thing. Right, there we go. We now have lava in there. And in fact, we have netherrack flying all the way over here. Once again, for now, let's just put in a collection box. All right, so we're making nether wart and we're making netherrack. And as straightforward as that should have been, that did melt my brain a little bit. So I think it's time for me to go have a cup of tea and think about how I'm going to do this next bit. Tea has been acquired. Let's work out the next step. Ooh, there's a creeper. Right, so we've got as far as here, which is getting our netherrack, so we just need to turn that into cinder flour. And then we've got to do all the potion stuff. But let's do cinder flour first, nice and simple. So let's get rid of this and extend our belt out by just a couple of blocks. That should be enough. And if we stick that in there, as well as a vertical gearbox on each side. So, nope, not there, there. And there we go. Yep, we've still got some crushing wheels, so we're going to put those in there and there. And then that's going to make our cinder flour. Nice and simple. Over here, however, this is where we're going to need to make the potions. So we're just going to pretend that this is a basin, because for now I do actually want to be collecting the nether wart so we can replant it and expand our fields. But use your imagination, and yep, that's a basin, honest. The basin is going to need water, so this should be nice and simple. Let's do that and add a pump. Do I have any pumps? Do I have any in here? Yes, 27. Wow, okay, that's a lot of pumps. So we'll just do that. We can steal some power off of here. We do that and then get a shaft and a cog. So that'll pump water into that basin there once we actually put the water in, but I'm not going to do that just yet because, well, that's not a basin yet. In fact, I'll tell you what, temporarily, let's just adjust this ever so slightly. But now let's just connect all our nether wart in there, and then we can actually make our proper setup over here. So I need a basin, and I need a mixer. And we're going to need to power this pump here. So if we stick another cog in, like that, that will pump into this basin here, with another mixer on top. So this should make awkward potions, but we're going to need a filter for those. So maybe I should be clever and quickly go make myself a few awkward potions just so we can actually filter everything through. Because what we don't want is the basin having water pumped into it and then immediately pumping it into the basin next to it before it's even made the potions. That would be bad. All right, so we'll filter that one for awkward potions and that one for strength potions, and hopefully that means that's all we're going to get out of those. But what we then need to do is pump out this strength potion. We're going to send it over this way, pump it all into a spout. We'll extend this belt out to here, get those belts powered up, get that pump powered. Good, good. Okay, that should be doing what we need. So let's get some water in down here. That's filled that up with water almost instantly. Excellent. So now I should be able to pick up those two, put that in there. Need to put a funnel on there. And our fields are now full, so if I just chuck this extra stuff down there, we should get netherrack. Yep, that's going into there. The netherrack is being turned into cinder flour and thrown all the way over here. That is, yeah, I suppose that's going to happen for now, isn't it? Let's just stick a blocker in there. And if we're clever about this, if I put that there with a brass funnel there, stick a filter on there for redstone, and I think I'm going to adjust this ever so slightly, actually, over this side. Cinder flour flying everywhere at the moment. But if I put a casing there and extend that belt by 1, then we not only don't need this stuff anymore, but if I put that on there with a redstone filter, rotate it that way, then it's only going to pick this stuff up once it's been converted. Right, we're very nearly there. The last ingredient we need is blaze powder, which we need to put into this basin here, which means we need to make a mob farm. And that also means we're going to need a second floor on this building, but I don't know how the ground floor is going to look yet, so maybe I should build up a bit of the building and then just make sure we've got space for the mob farm in the top when we're done. I feel like that's going to be the safest approach. And I think I've got an idea of how I want this to look, so if we just do a quick 360, then you'll see we have a shiny new building, and I love how this has come out. I've tried to tie it in nicely with the building next door because they are so close to each other, so we've once again got the limestone at the top here, we've got some of the metal down the bottom, a bit like what we have over there, but then the larger section at the back I've done with Dean brick, which I do still need to texture and get some detail on. This is literally just a brick box at the moment, and this is, of course, what contains the netherrack. Or netherwart even, that's what I mean. And it's looking very bland on this side just in general. But I'm running out of time to record this episode, and I want to get this farm up and running, so we are producing redstone. So that's going to have to wait. I mean, we've still got loads of detail to do in this area anyway, so I'll probably just do all that in one big sweep. But for now, we need to make ourselves a mob farm. So on the inside here, I have put in a floor, we've got some stairs going up, and I've marked out where the blaze farm is going to go. What I do need to do, though, is get myself some tinted glass. But we'll sort that in a minute. First off, let's figure out the collection mechanism, I guess, for collecting all these blazes and getting them into some kind of a kill chamber. I think the way we're going to do that is by using some belts. So if I just get in a bunch of belts like this, stick these across the bottom, and one across the front here, then we'll extend this one out to around about here, and this is where we're going to deal with them. So this is where I'm going to need one of our pokey boys. We're going to need to get power to him as well, so if we put in a vertical gearbox there, let's see what's down below. I reckon we can probably steal some power from down there. In fact, I'm going to change this a bit. What I want to do, I think, is actually trap them down in a chamber, because otherwise when they get hit, they're going to keep getting pushed back, and that's just going to be annoying. But if we do this, then we can have them drop down onto a space there, which means we can use this guy over here to finish them off. Just got to work out the power situation. Couple of gearboxes, and let's grab some from down here. Just need to transfer some of that power over to here. Oh, they're going the wrong way. Stick in another gearbox. Wonderful. That's getting everything over to here. So now, no matter where they spawn, when they drop to the bottom, they'll go up here and over to this side. Perfect. I just need to go get myself all the glass so I can box everything in. In fact, while I think of it, we're also going to need a dropper on there. We need to set this to attack mode. We'll give him a sword in a moment. But before we go too much further, I really do need that tinted glass. Let's go see what we've got in storage. We have 96, which is probably not enough, but we can make some more. So let's get all of this boxed in, and I guess I probably want to swap out these bottom blocks here. They don't really match anymore, and a sight casing will probably look a bit better. Then if we stick a filter on there so that it doesn't throw away the sword, we should be able to give this guy a sword. All right, I think we're good. I think all we need to do now is actually get the spawner in, and then that should start producing blaze rods for us. And I'm pretty sure they updated it so that if this is a mending sword, which I have actually just put my sword in there for now, I will need to swap that out. But if we put in a mending sword, it should stay healed up. At least that's the hope, because I don't want to have to keep replacing the sword. But the good news is, by doing it like this, we should also get XP. So everything that comes out of here, we're going to need to sort it out downstairs. So we have the XP going into one storage, and then we send off the blaze rods to get crushed and turned into blaze powder, and then we can finally make our strength potions, which will enable us to make redstone. A long path, but we'll get there. First things first, let's go get this blaze spawner, and I think we're going to do this as safely as possible, which means we're going to make a little Minecraft? Nope, this is all Minecraft. We're going to make a minecart contraption. And, oh, no, I'm not, no, I'm busy. No. Stop it. Now, obviously, this is only going to work, and it's only going to produce blaze rods when I'm actually in the area. It is still a mob spawner after all, so it needs to be within range of things. Or in range of the player, I should say. Yep, they are definitely going down. The question is my sword holding up? Let's have a little look. Can I grab that? I mean, the durability's barely gone down. Let's leave it running for a few minutes and we'll come back and check on it. Now, let's figure out how we're going to process this stuff. All right, it's not the tidiest, but I think I've got it worked out. So everything from upstairs goes into this vault down here. And then the blaze rods and the ash get pulled out of this funnel here. Go through the grinder, which makes the ash completely disappear, which is good, because we really don't want that clogging up our system. But the blaze rods do go through the crushing wheels, get turned into blaze powder. They then get stored in this vault out here, which we can only just see. I can't really get into that bit to show you better. And then we've just got hoppers that are feeding all the blaze powder into this bit down the bottom here, and that is making our potion of strength. That then gets pumped along, put onto the cinder flower, and into here. However, I did make another mistake. I had to change these potion setups, because basically they're supposed to be heated. So this now has lava going underneath and the water on this one just goes in the side. So I did have to make a couple of changes, but at least it all works now. Oh, also my filters on the bowls didn't work, so I had to add filter pipes instead. But once again, not really a big issue. We just had to spread things out ever so slightly. We are also collecting XP down here as well, but as you can see, it's not really coming in very fast, especially compared to everything else we're getting. And that tells me that my sword up here is probably repairing itself, which is exactly what we want. Yep, the sword in fact now has more durability than when I put it in there. So that means we are now automating redstone, which is the last thing we wanted to automate over here. I just need to transfer it from here over to here. Although this farm is mostly automated, it's also slightly not automated, because unless I'm standing nearby, we're not going to be getting the blaze rods. And I think a few hours AFK here should fill up the farm more than enough and keep it going for pretty much as long as we're going to need. So I guess that's what I'm doing with my afternoon. But sadly, that is all we've got time for today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.